What do you think of when I say inclusion? I've asked many groups this question and they provide a variety of answers. Our definition of inclusion is that everyone feels respected and valued. This simple definition addresses two common perspectives on inclusion. Inclusion often seems to refer either to everyone, regardless of their identity, as in the human race, or efforts towards inclusion focus on individuals and groups who historically and currently might be excluded or marginalized just because of their identity. Our definition encompasses both at the same time. We strive to create and maintain a campus culture where members of underrepresented and well-represented groups feel respected and valued. We recognize that in some cases we need to attend more to underrepresented groups because they have not been treated fairly. This approach allows and invites flexibility regarding where and when we might focus more on one group than another, even as we always are aware of everyone. Inclusion is both a process and a feeling. Inclusion encompasses both an active process, to include, and an emotional outcome. I feel included. So, for our campus to achieve its goal for inclusion, we need to actively engage in inclusive practices and policies that allow everyone to feel included. To get insight for how to do that, let's look at two factors of inclusion. The first factor of inclusion is fairness and respect, which are important to everyone. The emphasis on equity and non-discrimination is particularly relevant to members of protected classes as defined by law, and to address and discourage behaviors perceived to be sexist, racist, classist, heterosexist, anti-Semitic, and so forth. The second factor, value and belonging, also matters to everyone. The three components of this factor focus on A, the uniqueness of each person being known and appreciated as integral to the institution. We all want to be seen as multidimensional rather than being viewed only due to one or two aspects of our identity. This is especially salient to members of underrepresented groups because others often seem to interact with them only because of their underrepresented identity, while neglecting to see that there's more to them than that. This often plays out in group committee work where people are selected to quote-unquote represent diversity, or in classrooms where minoritized students are singled out to answer questions about their racial or ethnic group in ways that members of majority groups never experience. The second component of value and belonging, decision-making, highlights a need for all individuals to believe that they either have a voice in decisions that affect them or that leaders or others are informed enough about their interests to represent them well as they make those decisions. Third, connectedness stresses a need for individuals to feel that they are valued, bona fide members of formal and informal networks. Combined with our definition of inclusion, these factors mean that to feel truly included, members of the campus community would not only say that they are treated fairly and respectfully, but that their unique value is known and appreciated, and they truly belong to the group. To become a more inclusive campus also requires each individual to be committed to cultivating inclusion. I would close with ways that you can make a difference. 1. Take personal responsibility for cultivating inclusion regardless of your role, regardless of your social identity composite, whether you belong to mainly well-represented or underrepresented groups. 2, become more aware and mindful of how you and others seem to be cultivating or curbing inclusion. Honor inclusion as a priority. 3, work within your sphere of influence. Again, no matter what your role is, you can make a difference. 4, discover and value ways that those with whom you engage on campus are unique. Show genuine interest in learning who they are and help them to know you too. 5, promote connections by introducing people to one another related to projects or initiatives. Also, when you are assembling committees or work groups, take time to include a wide variety of individuals. At the first meeting, ask members, is there anyone else we should include? Finally, engage in affirming interactions. Affirming interactions refer to positive micro-messages or micro-affirmations that show others that you value and respect them. Micro-affirmations explicitly recognize and validate individuals that empower them to thrive, whether they are members of groups who traditionally have been excluded or if they are members of groups who historically have had full access. Here's a list of verbs that describe affirming interactions. Listen, be fully present, notice, acknowledge, support, advocate, mentor, understand, empathize, resource, advise, inform, invite input, recognize, include, give feedback, empower, instruct, respect, trust, assist, sponsor, value, appreciate, commend, promote, train, consult, learn from, entrust, solicit feedback, reward, guide, yield, believe in, stand up for, compensate, credit, apologize. These small messages can have a positive cumulative effect. They are not gratuitous. You should be genuine when you enact them. This means that you have to be fully present and observant. Notice that these are not all one-sided ways that you help someone else. They also include ways that you show you value them by inviting their input and assistance. In conclusion, I encourage you to deepen your commitment to inclusion by applying the framework and suggestions I have shared. Not only will you help to achieve the campus's goal to be more inclusive, but you probably will also increase your own sense of belonging. Best wishes.